Hey, Kerfuffle fans, welcome back to the next episode, and I've got an extraordinary guest for you. Her name is Jess Haigmier, and she is a world traveler, and she owns a business. She lives a nomadic lifestyle. She does all sorts of things that I really want to live vicariously through her. I'm telling you, I've been talking to this lady before the show, and there's just so much stuff going on in her life. But before we get started, I want to thank our Kiwi friends from down south that have just put us at the number 22 spot for our podcast. And I really, really appreciate it. Thank you guys for downloading. Thank you for listening to everything we do, not only on YouTube, but on Spotify and on Amazon and Apple iTunes. We're there for you. And it means so much to us and the staff that you have given us this opportunity and to take us this seriously. And even though we're kind of goofy on the show, but thank you again. And without further ado, Jessica, welcome to the show.
Hi, thank you so much for having me. I appreciate it.
Oh, thank you for being here. And I know we're a bit of a time change because you are in
Thailand. I'm in Phuket, Thailand. So it is 10 p.m. here.
Oh, so it's a late night. So you're a late night person.
Yeah. I'm always up till 12 or 1, so it's fine.
Well, Jessica, I mean, there's just so much to unravel with you. I mean, I've checked out your websites and we've talked a little bit before the show, and there's just so much to do and so much to see in your life. And, you know, from what I read, you're a Air Force brat. You grew up as a military brat, and that kind of got your travel bug going. Or tell us a little bit about you growing up.
So, my dad was in the military. He started out as Coast Guard and then transitioned to being an officer in the Air Force. And one of I don't know if it was my mom's rule or my dad's rule, but they always said that they would never take an assignment where we couldn't go as a family. So I actually moved overseas when I was 2 years old. We moved to Turkey. And then back to the States for a little bit. And then from there, Canada, England, Australia. I almost said North Korea. South Korea.
Definitely not North Korea. Definitely not North Korea.
Definitely not North Korea, especially. Definitely not North Korea. And so that definitely, I did not have a normal childhood. I did not have a normal high school experience. So I definitely enjoy seeing the rest of the world and adventuring, so to speak.
So growing up, what was like your favorite country when your father was in the military? Like, where did you like it the best?
So, not placating to the Australian crowd, but I absolutely loved Australia. I went bungee jumping in New Zealand when I was 14 at AJ Hackett, over the river. So Australia was definitely one of my favorites. And I really like South Korea. A lot of things happened for me in South Korea. So I got a lot of love for South Korea.
Yeah, we've had a lot of guests that have spent time in South Korea, either as educators or in the military or just went on vacation, and they speak really highly of the country, and there's just so much there to see and do. And
Sure.
they love the food. Everybody says they love the food.
Yeah, the food is great. I recently went vegetarian, and it's very hard to be a vegetarian in South Korea. But when I wasn't a vegetarian, bulgogi, bibimbap, yakimandu, all of that. I loved it.
So you grow up and you're obviously you're not going any place with your parents anymore at some point in your life. Then what happens? Like what's the travel bug? What got you going after that?
Well, long story short, I had a kid at 18 as a single mom, raised him by myself until he obviously 18, 20. He's almost 22 now. So about right around when he was 19 or 20, I had my own business, but I was also working for a startup. And unfortunately, I kind of saw the writing on the wall with the startup and felt that if some things didn't change, then it was going to go the way of what most startups do. So I kind of wanted to take advantage of the money that I was making and also, recover from some of the debts and some of the things that you incur when being a single mom for so long. So that's what made me kind of decide, hey, I'm going to go overseas. And I was supposed to just I had a birthday trip to London planned, and I just decided not to come back. Long story short.
Long birthday. It's a long birthday.
Yeah, it's been about a 2-year birthday now. Yes, it's been great.
I was just in London last year, and you see a lot of negative stuff online, and I'm sure every city
Mhm.
has negative things and stuff. But I really liked London. I thought the pub culture was pretty cool. I thought a very walkable city, so much
Mhm.
history and things to do there. And
Right.
the UK is just it's beautiful. It's a beautiful country.
Yeah. And I started in London, then went up to Manchester. The real purpose of me going was I wanted to go to Wrexham so I could see a Wrexham game, and I could, I don't know if you're familiar with Ryan Reynolds, and he, bought the Welsh football team in
Okay.
Wrexham. And there's like a whole they did there's been a whole reality series about it called Welcome to Wrexham, and it's just really cool. And they've actually done a lot of good. They were like a almost not even considered a professional team, and now they're like one league below champions, or they just made it to champions. So it's really cool. If I won't go into it too much, but if you have time, check out Welcome to Wrexham. It's a really cool story.
So how long were you in the UK for?
I was only there for 2 weeks, and then I went to
Okay.
Barcelona for a couple months.
Oh, Barcelona's a beautiful city.
Yeah, it was
Beautiful.
great. It was great.
So what took you to Barcelona then? Like when you left the
So I
UK?
was really just looking, I wanted to go somewhere warm. And like I said, this was really just like a whim thing for me. I didn't have, I'm not a big planner, and I kind of react off instinct for better and for worse. So I didn't really have a plan, and I didn't really know where I wanted to go. But I decided to go to Barcelona because I hadn't ever been to Spain. I wanted to go somewhere where there was a beach, and just and I knew a little bit of Spanish, and I knew living in Europe, like I know the culture. So I knew it wouldn't be like a major culture shock while I was trying to figure out what my next steps were and what I was going to do.
Oh, okay. Okay. So this whole time that you're traveling, are you working?
Yeah, I have my own business. I was still working for the startup up until June of last year, but it went the way of what startups do. So I actually started rebuilding my business um, the beginning of this year. I would say the beginning of this year. I was kind of figuring some stuff out. I was kind of dealing with some PTSD from a lot of things and from
Yeah.
the startup. So yeah, basically once I came to Thailand in February, I decided to rebuild my own creative design business, and I've just been doing that ever since.
So when you say creative design, what
Mhm.
exactly do you do?
So I do graphic design, website design, brand development. Um, I do product design as well. So like one of my favorite clients was a water sports company. So I designed like a lot of their surfboards, their swimwear, their um, floating mats, like all of their kind of products. I help kind of design those in terms of the aesthetics of them.
Oh, okay. Okay. And then I also read you did some work with the NFL as well.
Yes. Yeah. I've done kind of through their white labeling and that sort of thing. I've done some brand work and brand design for the NFL, which is pretty cool because I'm a football fanatic. So
Okay.
go
So I know
Broncos.
you're originally from Ohio.
Mhm.
So are you a Cleveland Browns fan?
No,
Cincinnati Bengals,
no. Denver
Pittsburgh
Broncos.
Steelers, Denver
Denver
Broncos.
Broncos. Yeah.
Wow.
So
Okay.
my mom is a fanatic, like a Cleveland Browns fanatic. And we moved to Colorado when I was like 7 or 8. And my mom is the football fan. Like my dad doesn't choose sports at all, like at all.
Okay.
Um, so my mom started watching, like when I remember when we were like 7 or 8, we would always watch football in Colorado. For whatever reason, the Browns and the Broncos played each other a lot back then. This was like Elway days or pre-Elway days.
Right.
So I just latched onto football from watching it with my mom, and I just latched onto the Broncos, and they've been my team ever since. So
Okay. All right. I would have never picked that one out in a million years. So
I know
wow.
it's kind of
I had to go
random.
down the list of all 32 teams and,
Right.
figured that one.
Yeah, it's kind of random, but I love it. It's well, if you're a Cleveland Browns fan, you know the ups and downs of football for sure. So
Yeah, well, I'm a Philadelphia Eagles fan. I've
I was
been for
gonna say
years.
Philly.
So
Yeah, you
we
guys
know
are.
we know the Downs. We were in the Downs for about 60 years.
Was it that long?
Well, they won their last championship in 1960, and my father was 11 years old when they won, and then it was 2018. I think,
I
yeah,
didn't realize.
2018, we won our first Super Bowl.
Okay, I didn't realize
So,
the drought was that much.
I mean, we had been to the Super Bowl once in
Mhm.
1980 and again in like '04.
Right.
And we lost obviously both times. But yeah, the first one was in 2018 and it was like, okay, and
Right.
uh, interesting side story is my step grandfather, God rest his soul, was the only person that I ever met that was at every Philadelphia Eagles stadium because he was born before
Oh,
the Eagles
cool.
were existed. So he went to every Philadelphia Eagles stadium. He didn't live long enough to see him win a Super Bowl, unfortunately,
Oh.
but he was at every stadium. I always thought that was kind of a cool thing. He's seen everybody play.
No, that's really cool. I love a diehard fan. Like bandwagoners, I'm just like, I don't get it. Like you gotta be loyal. You gotta support your team.
That's
So
right.
I love that. Yeah.
So you do this stuff and you go to Europe. Then where do you travel after Barcelona? Where do you go?
So I went to South Korea for two reasons. One, again, I was still like I actually graduated high school from South Korea because of the military.
Okay.
So again, it was a space that I was familiar with, and my son and his partner did a big trip to Tokyo and South Korea. So I thought it'd be really cool. My son was actually born in South Korea, so I kind of met them there and took them through like the little neighborhood and stuff where we used to live and like where he first was born and that kind of thing. So that was the reason for South Korea. And
Oh,
then
okay.
after that, went to Barbados.
Oh, Barbados.
Yeah, I
Okay.
wanted
So I've
to
never been to
explore that.
Barbados. What is
Okay.
Barbados like?
Barbados honestly is phenomenal. I was not prepared for how expensive food is.
Oh,
So,
okay.
yeah, and one of my goals was to get healthy and to lose weight in this whole process. I definitely lost weight in Barbados because it was so expensive to eat. So,
So what's there
but
to
that's
do
never a
there?
goal. I mean, obviously, it's a Caribbean island, so I was on the beach almost 24/7. I was on the beach and I worked out, and I would sit at Starbucks and I would work from the cafe. That was my day for the 2 months that I was there. Kind of the
And you're a
same
big
Groundhog
swimmer?
Day. Yeah, I do. I love, and I wouldn't know if I won't drown, put it that way. I'm not like a competitive swimmer or anything, but I definitely love being at the beach. Like I'm a beach girl for sure.
Now, how do you do this thing as a nomadic worker? Because we get asked this question a lot by our fans. You're a nomadic worker. How are you able to retain clients, get clients, and still live the nomadic lifestyle that you do?
I don't. I mean, I guess that's a good question. That's a good question because I just do it. And I don't necessarily know, the rhyme or reason to it. I would say that I have had some long-standing clients, even before I went to the startup. I didn't completely get rid of my business even when I was with the startup. So I have some long-standing clients that I still work with that not only do I work with them, but they refer me clients as well. When when I first started my business and when I restarted my business, Upwork was like my best friend. And that's where I got my initial clients back in 2019 when I started my business. And then when I hit Thailand and I decided that that was what I was really going to do to get income to just, grow my business again, the first place I went back to was Upwork. And I actually had quite a bit of success there relatively quickly.
Okay. How is Upwork like, for people that are interested in putting their stuff in there? Is it difficult to become a vendor on Upwork, or is there a criteria or something like that?
No, so I would say so Upwork is similar to Fiverr and that sort of thing, but I would say that it's more of an upscale Fiverr.
Yeah.
It's your price points are going to be higher. Like people who are putting in Upwork typically invest more in talent, from what I have found. So there isn't any rhyme or reason to signing up. You don't have to have any qualifications or anything like that, but you do create a portfolio and you do upload your work. You do a description about yourself. And the hardest part of Upwork is you have to submit proposals. Like companies will go on, they'll be like, hey, we have this job or we need help with this project or we need to develop this brand. And then you submit proposals. Obviously, for high value items, you're going to be competing with 300 other proposals.
Right.
Um, in a industry like mine, I mean, graphic design is kind of oversaturated. Website design is kind of oversaturated. I can't compete with people in, Pakistan or India who can push out a website for, pennies on the dollar. I physically can't, I can't do that. I can't support myself in the same way. So that is the biggest hurdle and the biggest roadblock to get over, is you just kind of have to be able to identify the jobs and the projects that will work for you, but then also know that you're going to send probably 100 proposals before you get a response. And then it's just about selling yourself from there and building that relationship.
And you've never monkeyed around on Fiverr then? You never really spent a lot of time on there? Because I've been on both, and I tend to lean more towards Upwork just because of the quality, craftsmanship, and the communication. Exactly. Whereas on Fiverr, it's one is like college, the other is like elementary school. Not knocking anybody that's on Fiverr, but that's just the way that I've noticed.
Right. Right. And I feel from what I've seen of Fiverr, there's a lot more competition with other countries that can produce at lower rates. So for me, I can't, produce 20 logos for $5. I can't do it. I can't pay I can't even afford to eat in Thailand if that was my business model. So
so how does the nomad, do you get a nomadic visa then, like a digital nomad visa? Or
so where I've been so far, that's part of why I moved around so much, is I specifically was looking for places I wouldn't have to spend money on visas. Okay. And initially with Thailand, as an American, we can be here for 60 days and extend for 30, and then you have to leave the country. They are starting to crack down more on people who just come for 60 days, leave, come for 60 days, leave. They're definitely cracking down on that. I had no plans on getting a long-term visa anywhere. I was just going to kind of hop around every 2 to 3 months. I was actually going to go to the Caribbean for most of the beginning of next year. I don't know why, but for whatever reason, when I got to Phuket, there's something here that is drawing me to stay here. So I'm actually going back to the States for the holidays. And while I'm there, I am going to apply for the 5-year digital nomad visa.
So you want to stay there?
You know how that process goes. Yeah. And not fully, this is going to be my new home base. I still plan on traveling out from here, but I think I'll be a little bit more permanently placed. So I won't be moving every 2 to 3 months anymore. I'll just kind of jet out for a week or two to different places. That's the plan.
Yeah, I'd love to do a follow-up and see how that digital nomad visa goes, because we've interviewed some different people, different countries, and it's different for everybody wherever they go, but we've never really talked to anybody that's done anything that's spent any significant time in Thailand other than vacations and stuff.
Right. No, I can definitely let you know. My plan is to redo my passport, get the digital nomad visa, and get a international driver's license, all in the month that I'm back in the States. So I'll let you know how it
goes. So you've been there 25 different countries. Where is, if you had to pick your top five, what would you say they are?
For sure, Thailand, Australia. Again, I loved Barbados, but I wouldn't go back just because of the cost, the expense involved. Those two are the ones that stick out the most, Australia and Thailand. There's one that I definitely won't go back to. And that's kind of like a personal vendetta that I have against Iceland, of all places, but I won't go back there ever.
Interesting. Why is that?
Because back in the day when I was in corporate America and I was doing marketing and that sort of thing full time, I was working for a company and we did conferences, and we put several conferences on, mostly in the States, but we did a couple overseas. So when my son was 10, we were doing one in London, and I asked my boss, hey, can I bring my kid and show him around? So, and he said yes. So what Iceland was offering at the time was an extended layover. And you could, if you threw Iceland Air, then you could stay up to a week in Iceland, and it would just be considered a layover. You wouldn't have to get an additional ticket. So I was like, cool, let's do that. So then I can show Jalen's my son. I can show him Iceland and I can show him England. So long story short, I'm a single mom. I've been a single mom since day one. We got to Iceland. We went to go enjoy Iceland. And the customs lady took my passport and she held on to it for 4 or 5 minutes. And she just kept looking at the passport, looking at my kid, look at the passport, look at me, and then she was like, does his father know that you've taken him overseas? Do you have his father's permission? And I was like, excuse me? Excuse me? And so long story short, she kept drilling into me. And again, my son's father, unfortunately, he's never been in the picture. It's just been me and my son since day one. And she would not give me back my passport until I acknowledged that I had to, that in the future, I had to get his father's express permission to take him out of the United States.
Wow.
Yeah.
Okay.
So there was that.
That would aggravate me too.
I was like, had my son not been there, I might have been in Icelandic jail because he was actually grabbing my hand. He felt my energy. He was like, it's okay, mommy. Like, it's okay. It's okay, mommy. Don't freak out. Don't freak out. So there was that. And then just like with Barbados, you know, 2 pieces of pizza and 2 sodas cost us $40 US dollars.
Wow.
2 bowls of pho, 2 drinks was like $35 or $40. Like the expense to eat there is just insane.
Wow.
Yeah.
That's crazy. That's crazy. $40.
Yeah. Iceland, I think, is the only country that I've seen so far that I would not go back to at this point.
I was just in the south of Italy this past July. Oh, it's so beautiful. If you haven't been, you need to go. The water, the history, I mean, I'll tell you what, I sat on the sidewalk in Rome and we went to a little cafe. And the coffee they serve over there is little. It's not like in America where you get this jug. Yeah. It's just little thing. And I'm sitting there on the sidewalk and a little croissant, you know, and sipping tea. And looking around, I said, now I really feel like I'm in old Europe. It was so relaxing. And there's people smoking cigarettes. They don't care. I mean, I'm old enough. I know you're old enough. We remember a time that you used to be able to smoke in bars in the United States. That's the way it was over there. You can't do that in the United States too much anymore unless it's a private club. But people just smoking cigarettes, didn't care, you know, and riding their little scooters. And it's just, you know, I tell people you need to get out. Yeah, exactly. It's a different lifestyle.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah. It's slower. It's just, I haven't been to Italy, but I mean, many places outside of the US, it's a slower pace. It's like more appreciation for community, more, you know, just kind of like taking life as it is versus what we have to do next and after that and after that and after that. So I love it.
So now you're in Thailand.
Mm-hmm.
And you're loving Thailand. What are some of the interesting things that you've seen and done since you've been in Thailand?
Well, my son came to visit me. So the most interesting thing that we did is we went skydiving in Pattaya, Thailand.
Oh, wow.
Yeah. My son thinks I'm scared. I don't know why. He thinks I'm scared of everything, but I had explained to him, like, I'm just scared when it comes to you. Like, you're my precious baby. I can't have anything happen to you. So I just kind of surprised. He's always wanted to do skydiving. So I just kind of surprised him with skydiving because it's something that he doesn't think I would do. So that was actually a lot of fun. I am just now, one thing that I'm very bad at is when I'm in other countries, I very much live here. Like I live as if it's just day to day. It's a regular day. Like I need to work. I need to go to the gym. I need to get this stuff done. So I tend to kind of get into a routine and into a habit, and I don't explore as much as I should. So I'm just now getting to the point where I'm like, okay, no, I need to like really see everything that Thailand has to offer and really like enjoy all this stuff. So recently went to the Phi Phi Islands. One of my friends came to visit. So she and I went out to the Phi Phi Islands, and that was phenomenal. Like, it's so beautiful. It's everything you've ever seen or heard about. And then I spent most of my time in Bangkok. So I definitely got that big city vibe in Bangkok as well. So that's pretty much what I've done.
So
I need to do more.
What is the food like?
The food is, there's two sides. There is the like eat like a local, and then there's eat like a Westerner, or eat like, you would on vacation. So there's a wide variety of food. There is everything from the street markets and the $2 pad thai that you see on Instagram up to spending, $40, $50 on a plate at a nice restaurant. So the food is even in Phuket, in Bangkok and Phuket especially, like it's very much anything that you want and that you can think of, you can find in Thailand. It's just a matter of how much you want to pay for it and how far out of the way you want to go for it.
And so a lot of people don't know this too, that Thailand still has a king.
Yes.
And there's a palace there.
Yeah, there is. And actually the Queen Mother died a couple of days ago. Oh. So rest in peace. But now most of Thailand is kind of like in mourning. So a lot of businesses are kind of altering hours. Most Thai people are wearing like black and white, like kind of out of respect. A lot of people, even on social media, they're changing their profile photos to like black and white, just out of respect for the Queen Mother. So that happened this week.
Yeah, a lot of people don't realize that there's a king and queen of Thailand. Well, Thailand used to be called Siam.
Right.
The King and Queen of Siam, like the play, right. The King and
Right, The King and I. Yeah, I loved that movie growing up. That was one of my mom's favorites. Yeah, The King and I. Et cetera. Exactly.
The old Brenner.
Exactly. I loved him. I know this is weird, but I had the biggest crush on him when I was little because my mom always played that movie. And yeah, I was like, he's so cute. I was like, I don't know, 5 or 6. This is, schoolgirl stuff, but yeah.
So as we, I always like to ask these to people as we come close to the end of the show is, what do we see from Jessica in the future? What are we going to see from her?
That's a good question. I know that at my big old age of 40, almost 41, I should have my life figured out. But honestly, like I'm still figuring out what I want to be when I grow up. So I have my business and, I'm very good at website design and graphic design and all that kind of thing. I don't have a passion for it, but I'm good at it and it pays the bills. So I'm hoping I'm a travel writer now for a couple of magazines. I'm hoping to move back into writing. It's something I had a passion for when I was little. So I'm kind of hoping to segue into that. But I'm also hoping to still be traveling in the next 5-6 years. So I don't know what you'll really see of me, but hopefully it involves a laptop on a beach writing about pina coladas. That'll be the goal.
So bucket list country, where do you want to go?
I mean, I've always wanted to go to Italy and Greece, but that's like super boring, obviously. Fiji. Definitely want to do Fiji. I want to do Dominican Republic, but not standard Dominican Republic. I want to go to Las Terrenas, which is kind of up out of the way. And I want to go to the humpback whale migration that goes through there in January and March. I want to go to Curacao. Pretty much every Caribbean country. I need to hit every Caribbean country. That's okay.
Aruba?
Jamaica. Ooh, I want to take you. Bermuda, Bahama. All those.
Yeah. I won't say the next part.
That part, yeah.
Well, Jessica, it's been amazing having you on the show today, and I've learned so much from you. Please stay in touch. We'd love to see and follow your adventures, and we're going to ask our fans to go and follow Jessica you're on Instagram, correct?
Yeah, that's my primary millennial platform, Instagram.
Okay, all right. Well, I'm a Gen Xer, so yeah.
Oh, there you go.
So to all our fans, go and follow Jessica, and it's just your name on Instagram they can find you at?
Well, yeah, it's just _ the Jess Effect.
Okay.
So
go there and follow Jessica on her adventures, and we'll be cheering for her the whole time. And I'm just I'm blown away. You're living the life that most people really would love to live. And my hat's off to you, Jessica.
I appreciate it. Thank you.
So thank you for being on today's show.
Mm-hmm. And thank you for having me. I enjoyed it.
And if you guys like what you saw, make sure to like, share, and subscribe, and click that notification bell below. We're also on Rumble. We're on Facebook. We're on Instagram. You can also find us on Twitter. We're everywhere, guys. We're on Spotify. We're on Amazon. We're on Apple iTunes. Go and listen to the show. Listen to Jessica's show. Listen to some of our other stuff. And again, thank you to our Kiwi friends for boosting us so high up to that 22nd place. It really means the heart to us all here at the production team. So until next time, have fun storming the castle.